Now, joining us for more on the global environment is Olav Kjorven. He is a director for the United Nations Development Programme's Bureau for Development Policy. Happy Earth Day.
Happy Earth Day. Happy to be here.
Well, let's talk about the environment because, of course, it's a great concern, but it comes at a time when we are facing a world economic crisis, and some would say we simply can't afford to go green at this time. What would you say?
I would say we can't afford not to go green at this time because we have very little time if we are to stave off a future climate crisis that is already affecting the planet in major ways. And we have 100 months basically if we are to really make the investments that we need to make now in order to curb that the growth of emissions for the future. That's very little time to act.
100 months according to who?
That's the United Nations Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, which they've issued a lot of reports over the years, and they've tended to be too conservative rather than not.
There has been a lot of talk of possibly that going green is a way to get us out of this economic crisis we're in. Do you agree with that?
I fully agree with that, and now is really the time to do it. And the good news is that a lot of countries, a lot of subnational governments, local authorities, a lot of companies are seeing it the same way and are acting and moving in that direction.
What about those developing countries who don't have a lot of money and are certainly challenged even more so now? How are they supposed to look at the environment and yet develop their own economies?
Well, there are two things. They definitely need a lot of support from those countries that have contributed the most emissions historically, including the United States, to really have access to the technologies and to protect themselves from the climate change that's unavoidable. But in addition to that, there are so many things they can do that will in fact be good investments for them and will help them save money in the short term even, and will create the foundation for future growth. The reality is we need both. We need the support, but we also need a lot of action in all those countries. And we are, as UNDP, involved in a lot of that.
Well, give us an example. What country, say a developing country, is working on this?
Well, take a poor country like Rwanda. They're now going ahead with getting electricity to the schools, putting them on the water and sanitation systems, as well as online with internet. And they're doing this through clean energy solutions, and they're getting the money from the carbon markets internationally. That's one example. Croatia is doing a massive energy efficiency investment throughout their whole country and their cities in particular, and through that reducing the emissions from their buildings with some 41%. And this is helping provide the foundation for future growth for that country. In China, they're rolling out fuel cell buses on the streets of Beijing and Shanghai. We're involved and supporting them in doing that, and I can tell you that if there's a global deal on climate change, we'll see this scaled up all over the world. And the United States need to be part of that and lead it.
Olav Kjorven, thank you very much for joining us today.
Thank you.